So at least now I can stop worrying about that, but I do still not know how to finish the level. So that's definitely happening still. I don't want to be in this maze anymore. Goodbye. I don't think I've been down here for a bit. Nope. Ah. Do they have anything here? Oh, that's the place where the boulders go. Oh no. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, it's back when we were still touching base. Okay. So was that it? Am I done? Ah. There we go. I was starting to lose my mind a little bit. Okay. Hello. Is it gonna be a big ghost that doesn't like that I'm lighting things up? Oh. No, it's not a big ghost. Wow, it's just like the creature in Elden Ring too. Which I realized, like, actually I think this might have been a creature in the last, so it's a rupee lizard. I realized that this might have been a creature in the last version of the game too, and I'm forgetting. I don't always find Zelda bosses super memorable, because admittedly a lot of them come and go in 30 seconds. So if you aren't growing up playing the game over and over again, there's not a lot of time to record them in your memory. I don't think I can hurt them with my weapon at all. Twing. Ew, it's got a throbbing forehead. No. Who did this at Nintendo? Who is Dr. Nintendo and why are they evil? Oh. They have incorporated the torch into the fight for a moment. Ugh, it's fast! Why is it fast? I can't restore my magic. Ah! It's kind of cool. Ah, it's turning around right onto me. Look at me! Look at me! Got him. Got him. Hi. How you doing? You got a heart container.
Hey, is that really you, Led? Where am I? Where's my mama and papa? Did you fall for it? I'm not scared. Why would I be? I'm a 7 sage. Oh, he's a dumb child that doesn't know what it even is or what it's called, so he thinks that that's what it's called. Did I say that right? Whatever it is, though, it sounds like a big deal. So you better make sure you rescue all 7 of us 7 sages. Wow, that really is a mouthful. Oh, well, that resolves the mystery of where Goalie is. I guess we can stop worrying about that. And by worrying, I mean I definitely forgot again. I kind of just filed it away as like, whatever this is, it probably just comes up at some point when I'm looking around, just as I explore. Oh, lovely Zelda. Can you sense it? Our brave hero almost has the Triforce of Courage. Lorule will be saved thanks to him. And one princess to another? I can't tell you how grateful I am. Save! Alright, so now we need to figure out how to get to the various parts of Death Mountain we haven't been able to get to, and save that one guy that needs milk, but I can't get the milk to them unless I probably get there via traveling back and forth. But first, let's get some of our last upgrades. Like spending my ore and my last of my money. Probably get the last permanent item. Now what will I do with all of my stupid money that I don't know what to do with? I forgot what dimension I was in. It does feel a little weird not really having monetary goals in this game because they're so tied to permanently unlocking these items. They did make the system more... fuck. They made the system make a little bit more sense because you do then unlock the ability to get the My upgrades. Otherwise it'd be like... just objectively a waste of money. Like, getting them permanently is obviously more expensive than renting them again, given that I never have to rent any of them again, and I can't imagine most players are struggling that much that they need to constantly re-rent all of their items. Just because Zelda games aren't that tough, even for kids, I don't think. Warm welcome to you, Mr. Hero. My deepest thanks for being the best customer ever. At last, I've sold all of my items. Yay for me. Thanks to your efforts, Mr. Hero, I've made a great I've made a great friend. And there's just one more thing. I'm closing down shop. I've sold everything so I can finally retire and live the good life. Whoop 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 boogie boopy woo whoopy doopy doo. Normal vocal response to the situation. I'm normal. Sorry, I just had to get that out of my system. I think I'm going to kick up my feet for a while I figure out what I'm going to do next. Anyway, I just gotta bow down to you, Mr. Hero. I can't believe that you found so many rupees for me. Now, best of luck out there. Me and old Shiro here will keep rooting for you. When I look at you, Mr. Hero, I now realize that just about anything is possible if you put your heart into it. Seems like it's about time for me to decide where to put my heart. A lot of fun trying to imagine what the future holds. I've got a new outlook on life. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Hero. But also, what if I took all of his money that's in my house that I basically own? Welcome back, Mr. Hero. Just laying on the ground. Hey, don't touch that mag, Mr. Hero. There's something in there that's more important than life itself. How do I stab it? How do I stab it? How do I burn it? How do I burn it and stab it? Maybe by tomorrow the sun is gonna glow. And maybe by tomorrow, not gonna stub my toe. And maybe by tomorrow the snow is gonna blow. You know, it's been way too long since I've been in a singing mood. But I've got a new outlook on life, and it's all thanks to you, Mr. Hero. I always thought sleeping all day would be fun, but now I think I'd miss breakfast and lunch, right? Yeah, I've got a new outlook. They'd say that every time. I'm so happy I've discovered my true calling in life. Retirement. It's all thanks to you, buddy. For a long time, I believed that if you put your ear to the ground, you'd hear the world's heart beating. That the world just goes on living, whether you were there or not. Weird, right? Sort of sad. So I've been listening here for a while. You know what? You know the only heart I've heard? Mine. Couldn't be happier. This is the most dialogue that any character has in the entire game, besides, like, the exposition characters you're stuck with the whole time. Never really had time to take a lot of naps before. The world looks so different from here. Sometimes just changing your perspective is the key to, well, everything. Oh. Oh, Captain, my Captain. This is so much dialogue. Way more than you expect. No one really talks that much. Interesting. Ah! Why is there a guard in the grass in my house? It's unnerving. So I have 40 Mai-Mais to go. So I'm only just over halfway there, which is not an amazing completion percentage. But also, they would take forever to do all of. Or maybe let's do a little tour up here. I hear one. There's one. That's enough for one more. One more upgrade. Yeah, I have one marked up at the top left corner. So I'm a bit curious about that one. Oh, I can finally tell you about Gully. I'm still terribly worried about little Gully Led. What'd you say? Oh, that's good. I'm so relieved. But he can't come back yet. Well, that's alright, so long as he's fine. I can't let him see me like this. I almost lost all... But of course, I knew he'd come back. I'll make his favorite dessert. I'll have something so yummy waiting for him that he'll know everything's okay. Oh. I guess I never went in there. Yeah, there are so many boulders blocking caves. It's kind of hard to keep track of them in the long term once you do finally get the ability. It's funny because it is like one of the singular abilities like that. I have somewhat mixed feelings on the design of this game because one, I've already talked about how like money-wise, it's just very strange dealing with Ravio. But this approach to giving you every dungeon item at the beginning instead of having you unlock them, it definitely sets it apart from all the other Zelda games, and that's probably the goal, is to have its own separate identity in that way. But I'm not in love with the idea, because one thing that was kind of neat about Zelda games was the way that they slowly unpack as you get new abilities. And so you not only does the map open up in a kind of Metroidvania-ish way as you get certain abilities and you keep getting access to new things, but also the dungeons that are deeper into the game can assume you have like several different items, and then incorporate all of them into the puzzles to some extent, instead of just having the one button you're pressing over and over again for the most part, or basically the two dungeon items you're probably using. So the complexity can get a bit more interesting, and it just kind of can feel like it's building somewhere. Whereas like, when you think about it, it's hilarious that that one sage brought a sand rod into that one dungeon, because like, what was that going to help him with? I got to that whole dungeon without the sand rod, so clearly it wasn't very helpful. And the sand rod is such a niche item that like, it's not even especially useful outside of that context. Like a lot of the other buttons I have do stuff. Whoa. Sorry, I'm looking at the map and I just saw all those pips and I don't know what they are. Did they... What caused them to appear? There's like glowing pips. Are those roll the Maimais? Like to help you find them? They almost look like the needles of my pins. Or are those the Maimais I've already found? Sorry, I got really distracted just now trying to look at that, because that just started showing up on the screen and I didn't know what I was looking at. Yeah, the map's just covering little things everywhere. But yeah, it feels like there's somewhat of a lack of a building action in this game compared to other ones a bit, because like there are much fewer like lasting mysteries about how to resolve this or that thing. Like, Dan, that NPC has a problem. How am I going to deal with it? And like more often they're like, right now they're like, I don't know, man. He wants a bee. How do you get that bee? And you're just waiting for this golden bee to appear, and you don't know what that means. Whereas it used to be more like, oh god, the hook shot solves that, and I got the hook shot now. And some of that's built into the mystery of the fact that each Zelda game often has different dungeon items. So, especially the 3D ones, like when you get the when you suddenly get like the weird spinning top that's a platform that you race on, you're like, what is this weird little item? And it was hard for you to predict that item, even if you did notice rails. You're like, no one expects to be standing on a Beyblade in that game. So when you unlock that item, you're like, oh, that's one of the items. And even on some level, there's an element of that in like the Breath of the Wild first two games, those two games. Not in the way where you get dungeon items over the course of the playthrough, but in the way that like, even when you get those powers, it's just like, oh, huh. One of my dungeon items in this game is the ability to swim through land upward. Okay. Whereas this one, it brought back a bunch of items that are mostly familiar with already, with a few variations. Some of them interact with the sand rod interacts with your ability to go into walls directly, and the walls painting thing is your big core new mechanic. But having all of these familiar items up front means that the game can't really gate stuff behind them, so the world and NPC quests and so on aren't unfolding over the course of the game from you gaining new abilities, because you don't gain new abilities really. Instead, my new abilities were first picking up rocks, then picking up rocks better, and then running into stuff. Those are the core abilities you unlock over the course of the game. And running into stuff, I think, has been completely optional. At first, I thought it was going to be a Metroidvania-ish mechanic, in that it would let me jump gaps by running towards them, which I think might have been in a previous game, but maybe I'm imagining it. But really, it's just a gimmick button that lets you knock stuff off of things, and it's just used for optional collectibles and a couple side quests. And so it's not really like it's extremely like kind of there as like an almost token item. So I don't know if I love this particular approach, and I don't think it's like it's fine to do a game this way, but I don't really see it as like a modernization or a new crazy approach. So it's a little sad to then realize that they've now made 2 more Zelda games since this one, and they took this game's approach. So like, I kind of see this game as a bit like Skyward Sword, where it's not bad in its own, but it introduced things that I think are bad for Zelda to an extent. Because Skyward Sword is the one that really introduced the idea of you having a big, messy inventory full of dumb items that are stupid resources for crafting and upgrades, instead of, you know, just getting upgrades throughout the game and feeling cool about it. Like, oh, I found the guy that sells you the new sword upgrade, or I found I just found the new tunic. There it is, it's in a chest. Like, I got this tunic in a chest, and it's a huge deal. But like, farming a bunch of resources and then is bad for getting a new tunic. Like, you feel on some level like you accomplished something, but it introduces busy work of you just farming whatever the requirements are throughout the game, while probably not perfectly memorizing the checklist of stuff, so that you just kind of build the habit of gathering resources for the sake of it, and then it becomes too much like Far Cry or Dragon Age Inquisition or MMOs, where you're just grabbing all the items that have non-specific use for you, but one day might accomplish something one day. Like, Like, I don't like that. I don't think Zelda games should really have resources, so I don't like that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have a giant inventory now in a way that's following up from Skyward Sword's choices, just like how they also clearly kept the stamina meter from Skyward Sword for its other purposes. And in this game's case, I don't love the fact that this game, which came out 2 years, I think, after Skyward Sword, so technically it was the newest Zelda when Breath of the Wild came out, because it was 4 years before that. It introduced the idea of removing the structured unlocking process of Zelda and instead is experimenting with being a giant open world where you just kind of wander around freely while having all of your tools almost the entire time and can just freely do whatever. But it makes it less interesting. Like, you spend less time memorizing the map and trying to keep track of all your different things that you'd potentially want to follow back up on. And I say that as somebody who self-inflicted more of that than other players might because of the fact that I didn't really find the store mechanic as fast as I could have. So I was like, what are all these wooden posts? How do you interact with these? And just like, I was like self-gating by not fully understanding some of this stuff for like hours. But like, you potentially just find the store like immediately, and so you immediately have all of these items minus, I guess minus none of them, because the items that you do that you get elsewhere aren't in this screen. So you just immediately have all these tools, except for you have to get the sand rod, I guess, from saving that specific sage. And the sand rod is so niche that it's not very useful outside of one corner of the map / the dungeon that it's used for, and a couple secrets. See, I don't know. I don't love that approach. I don't really like the fact that in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom you start off with every ability you're gonna need for the rest of the game, and your rewards instead, when you defeat each of the 4 dungeons, of which there are only 4 in each one, or 5 in the second one. Ooh, but are to get like really niche bonus mechanics, like the ability to come back to life, I think, or an ability that blocks an incoming attack, or really, ultimately, the ones that people care about are the ones that the Rito give you, because you get Rivali's Gale lets you jump really high, and in the second game, there's a variation of that as one that lets you dash forward in the air to make traversal faster. The fact that the most beloved abilities that you get from the dungeons in both those games are just the ones that make traveling a bit faster kind of speak to like how not that interesting they were. And they were not really, they weren't game changers the way that like having your evolving series of items were in Zelda's. And this is a thing I have mixed feelings on, because like, to an extent, Skyward Sword is one of my favorite, I don't know, I won't say it's one of my favorites, but one of the things I liked about Skyward Sword is that it was getting to a really good place on boss design by that point. And also it had an interesting approach of kind of dungeoning the world a bit. So as you're traversing the world, you do kind of have levels to solve your way through on the way to the dungeon, and then the dungeon itself is also this big involved puzzle, and that was kind of all more satisfying. So it's kind of a bummer that that's not the part they kept when they made Breath of the Wild, and instead kept the exhaustingly large inventory where you collect bugs. That's less exciting to me. Anyway, that's my ongoing Zelda rants. Hey, where have you been, lad? Huh? You found my little guy? You rescued Gully, so where'd you find him? I gotcha. Uh-huh. Poor guy. Well, as long as he's safe and sound, I can finally breathe easy. Can't tell you how much. Never mind, just thanks. I'm real proud of how you're shaping up there, lad. Alright then, sorry about that, lad. That sword is my masterpiece. That blade couldn't get any sharper, no way, no how. Maybe if there was someone better than me, but I'm the best blacksmith in the world. So that's that. A better blacksmith. Okay. It's worth checking. Is the Lorule blacksmith the better blacksmith? So what is this pip? I must investigate. Wait, are they the transitions? They're the holes in the world. What transition between the zones? That makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's nice that they're on the map. I didn't realize they were there. That would have come in handy a little bit.
That would also explain why they're all... I was like, damn, did I just not get that many Mai-Mais in Death Mountain? It's like, oh, okay, yeah. They're all over the map, but not in Death Mountain, because that's the zone that I need to find out how to get to. Still. I heard it. It's really faint. I think it's because it's meant to be muffled because they're inside something, but I wish it was a bit louder, because damn, you can really miss that sound sometimes. You there, kid? A sword you got there. Come on, let me see it for a second. I was right. He can upgrade it, can he? He was just waiting for me to chop down some grass near him? That's funny. Let me take a look at... This is a really fine sword. Excellent craftsmanship, just excellent. Whoever made this was very skilled. Not as skilled as I am, of course. Well, I mean, I am the top blacksmith in the world, you know. But whoever did this might just be the second best. Ah, this is getting my blood running. Hey boy, follow me. He's a better blacksmith because he doesn't have a son? Is that what the game is saying? Because the other guy has a son, and so he's worse at blacksmithing? Here I am, finally found the motivation to do some smithing, and we don't got any master ore. What's that? You got a piece there. Well, to make the sword I'm thinking of, you're gonna need one more piece. You bring me that, I'll give you the most beautiful blade this world has ever seen. Oh no. That's frustrating. I was like, no, I thought we were ready. Well, it's probably in the Mount Doom place. So maybe you can only finish it right before you are ready to fight the final boss? Well, I guess you could have not done the ones that don't have the ores in them yet. I think I'm right about where they put the ore. I think they might have put them in the dungeons that don't give you a unique item. Do I hear one? Is it under here? Yep. Get thwacked. I don't remember what this tent is. Oh, it's the fortune teller of some kind? I don't mean to boast about my spicy darling here, but why not? Not everyone's got a fellow like him. He's handsome and talented. Ooh. Oh, come on, Mapes. You know I can't stand compliments. Unless you say I'm right. I'm the most handsome and talented. Why, I'm the foremost fortune teller in this world of any order. And any other. Of course you are, darling, and I'm the most fortunate witch around. Don't you dare nitpick my darling's fortunes, he's always right. I'm a reader of fortunes and I see your future. I'll tell you what's come for 20 rupees. Higgledy-piggledy, porkity, florkity, moppity, sloppity, kerplop. Oh, so much fortune to tell. It's like a buffet of fate. I see 7 paths before you. Which path would you like to ask about? The Dark Palace, the Swamp Palace, Haven't I been to all these places? The Thieves' Hideout. I know that one. Oh, the ice ruins. I've never done there. I was at the place you use the ice at. Oh, a sign from on high. I see it. Alright, I'll state it plainly. I see an area due east of the Tower of Hera, around the very top of Death Mountain. Something strange is going on with that stone wall of Ross's ore mine. I suggest you investigate. That concludes our session. Were you able to see the path you'll take? That'll be 20 rupees. You don't got anything else to do with them at this point. Meow, 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 meow. Alright, so I need to figure out what to do about that. There be something up with Rosso's mine. It's so satisfying to cut the whole thing like that. Ah! Any cheap noises? I haven't unlocked you yet, have I? And that's all freaking out. I feel like I forget to save sometimes. Leave me alone. Gat. I think I've recently encountered weather vanes and then just forgotten to wake them up. Just whoops. Thought I heard one. There it is. I did hear one. I was correct. The ones inside trees are hard to hear, I think, specifically. I mean, I do consistently hear them, so they're obviously not that hard to hear. I just feel like I can't fully trust them to be audible. It's quite enough that it worries me, and I'm like, oh god, I could have missed it. What if I was talking? Then I wouldn't hear it at all. Let's make a happy mama. And then abandon like 30 of her babies to the wasteland. Whoa. Hookshot, hammer, fire rod, ice rod. We're going to the Ice Kingdom, so I should make the fire rod better, because that's clearly going to come up. It's the thing that fights the ice. Hi, hi, hi. Whoa. It's the gnarly fire rod. Alright, well now we're like 2/3 of the way there. Look how good at video games I've been. You. A bird in the bush is a pebble in the skull. They put that there on purpose. Funnels you straight at it. I still haven't come back here after getting the Titan mitts, huh? I guess that was recent. Like, I still have 2 red pins on my map, and I'm like, what are those for? Nope, I just forgot to remove it. And I forgot what blue pins were even for. It was probably for that thing. I remember that thing being there. That's my bad. I was gonna say, at this point, we've had every ability for a bit, so basically every pin should just be gone. There is one more hiding up there in Kakariko. Do 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 do. Knowing my luck, this will be another one that I've just forgotten to remove. But I still feel like this zone has like a oop. That might be it. I think this area still has like a heart piece I didn't get because of the rock ability. Is it like over here? There's a chest. Oh. Not worth the trip. 20 rupees is just such a pittance. Literally, who cares? Especially now that I've finished the economy, essentially, and it's over. The economy's over. I beat it. I beat the economy. I speedrun the economy. Let's see. So you probably get across this via hook shots then, right? Yep, this is the thing I failed to put together before.
I know you. You're that little lad, right? I saw that shooting chain thing you used to get in here. Looks fun.
How'd you see that from in here?
Looks like you gotten used to swinging your sword around, lad.
Okay. That's it?
Huh? Going home? That's a shame. Lots of stuff I could tell you. Interesting stuff, huh?
Tell me then. What the fuck? Okay.
You wanna know other people's secrets? Who you wanna know about?
The witch?
Oh, well, you've heard about the witch, right? That old crone used to have a little bit of a thing for the fortune teller, and you know how that goes. Just wasn't in the cards, or the crystal ball, I guess. When the fortune teller got sick, she brewed him up a potion. Nothing better than homemade stuff, you know. But she dropped it off in his mailbox on the sly. Bashful, the old girl. Warms the heart, truly does. So then, later on the witch actually goes and visits the fortune teller to get her fortune, right? Well, I'm not one to gossip. So the witch is at the fortune teller's place. You've been there, right? So he does a show with his hands and says, "But I see a man that you fancy. His face is cloudy. He does not return your affections. There is no future for the two of you." You believe that? What a fool. He couldn't even tell he was looking at himself, that poor woman. Never thought I'd feel bad for a witch. Now you've heard it. Go on now. That gossip ain't gonna spread itself.
Or he knew exactly that it was him, and he was trying to let her down easy or something. Or shut this down in some way. He said there's no future in this for you. It is tragic though, it's like sad. Princess Zelda.
Oh, the princess. She's quite an interesting one, let me tell you. Want to hear something juicy? When we reach a certain age, even the princess comes to a point where she has love on her mind, right? Okay, well, you didn't hear from me, but every night the princess goes on a little excursion inside the castle. Her maid says she's secretly meeting someone. Apparently she's not very good at the secretly part. So one night, someone gave into the delicious temptation of curiosity and decided to follow the princess. And guess what happened? The princess stopped in front of a large painting on display in the center of the castle. And she stood there, just staring up at the painting for 10 minutes. Then went back to her room, just like that. So when the person following her went to inspect the painting, you'll never guess what happened. The painting? This painting was of a hero and princess from several generations ago, cuddling in one another's arms. This person following her, it wasn't me, I swear, continued to follow her every night. Creepy. And it was the same thing every time. Princess Zelda would just stare at that picture night after night. Like an NPC on a routine or something. Not a very exciting end, I suppose. Maybe that's not so juicy after all. Oh well, they can't all be overripe fruit. The painting brought out a look of such admiration that had never been seen before in the princess. Now you've heard it. Go on now, the gossip ain't gonna spread itself. Gramps. You wanna hear about old Gramps, eh? Well, this one isn't a rumor, it's something I actually saw with my own two peepers. But I probably shouldn't say anything. You know me, I'm not one to gossip. I might get in trouble if I told you, but on the other hand, if you really want to know, I mean... Okay, well, so Gramps in Kakariko Village, near Town Square, he's 80 years old, or so he says. I don't think he's just some ordinary old man who's just hanging around. Just one time I saw him at the crack of dawn. You never guessed what he was doing. Eating dirt. Yeah, isn't that, odd? No, he was not doing that. That'd be so bad for your teeth, I think. He was doing handstands. Not any ordinary handstands, one-fingered handstands. Really, I saw it. Either he's doing some sort of intense physical training, or he's got some secret abilities he's hiding. But I don't want to be on that guy's bad side, so I didn't tell you nothing. Now you've heard it, go on. Gossip every time. At first I thought he was like, I came in and he's like, wow, you sure got used to you having a sword, didn't you? I was like, did I finish this entire quest chain of like the hints that he's supposed to give you? Because I just beat the game almost already. Because I didn't realize that I needed to look for wood objects with the hook shot, because I'm not used to this version of the hook shot. Womp womp.